Hey everyone, I know how frustrating it can be to click on a gaming PC listing that looks perfect on paper, only to find out it struggles with the games you actually want to play. You end up wasting time and money on something that doesn't deliver in real life. So, today I'm breaking down the Skytech Gaming Azure 3 to help you decide if it's the right fit for your setup or if you should keep looking. The link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about who this PC is really for. If you're someone who wants to play modern games at 1080p without breaking the bank, this could be a solid choice. The AMD Ryzen 5 7600 paired with the NVIDIA RTX 5060 is a combo that's built to handle titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Call of Duty, Warzone, and Elden Ring at high settings without needing to tweak every little setting. That's not just marketing talk. This setup is actually designed to run those games smoothly out of the box, which is a big deal if you don't want to spend hours configuring graphics settings just to get playable frame rates. Now, let's talk about the storage and memory. You've got a 1TB NVMe SSD, which is great because games these days can take up a ton of space. Loading times are fast, and you won't have to constantly manage what you install. Plus, the 16GB of DDR5 RAM is more than enough for gaming right now, though if you're thinking about future-proofing for the next few years, keep in mind that some newer games might push that limit. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to keep an eye on if you're planning to keep this PC for a while. One thing that stood out to me is the inclusion of Wi-Fi 5, 802.11 AC. In 2024, that's not the absolute latest, but it's still reliable for most home setups. If you're hardwiring your connection, you won't even notice the difference. The system also comes with Windows 11 pre-installed and no bloatware, which is a nice touch. No one wants a PC cluttered with unnecessary software slowing things down before you even start gaming. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what you might actually care about. The RTX 5060 is a solid mid-range card, but it's not a high-end powerhouse. If you're aiming for 4K gaming or ultra-high refresh rates at 1440p, you might want to look elsewhere. This PC is really optimized for 1080p gaming, and even then, some newer titles might require you to dial back a few settings to maintain smooth performance. That said, for the price, it's a fair trade-off if 1080p is your target. Another thing to consider is the power supply. It's a 650W gold-rated unit, which is decent for this build, but if you ever plan to upgrade the GPU or add more components down the line, you might hit its limits. It's not a huge red flag, but it's worth noting if you're someone who likes to tinker and upgrade over time. The cooling setup is another point in its favor. Skytech includes a high-performance air cooler, which is good because the Ryzen 5 7600 can run a bit hot under heavy loads. You won't have to worry about thermal throttling right out of the box, and the noise levels are kept reasonable. That's a big deal if you're gaming in a shared space or just don't want your PC sounding like a jet engine every time you fire up a game. So, who should skip this PC? If you're looking to game at 1440p or 4K, or if you want to future-proof for the next 5 years without any upgrades, this might not be the best fit. It's also not ideal if you're planning to do heavy content creation or streaming on top of gaming, as the CPU and GPU combo here is really tuned for gaming performance. For those use cases, you'd probably want something with a bit more headroom. On the flip side, if you're a casual gamer who wants a reliable, no-fuss PC that can handle modern titles at 1080p without breaking the bank, the Skytech Gaming Azure 3 is worth a serious look. It's not a flashy, over-the-top build, but it delivers where it matters most: performance in the games you actually play. Before I wrap up, just a quick reminder that the link to check out the Skytech Gaming Azure 3 is in the description if you want to dive deeper into the specs. If you found this review helpful, let me know in the comments what other PCs or tech you'd like me to break down next.